There was a time when loading a game felt like opening a door to another world. Not a perfect world, not a polished world, but a world that felt alive the moment the logo appeared on screen. The startup sound, the menu music, the glow of the screen in a dark room, the rough textures, the tiny sound effects. Before the game even began, it already felt special. And the strange part is, most old games were not technically better than what we have now. They had worse graphics, smaller worlds, and more limits, but somehow they felt more magical. Maybe the reason was never just the games, maybe it was the way we experienced them. When you were younger, a game was not just something you downloaded in seconds, it was something you waited for, you borrowed it, you saved up for it, you installed it slowly, you watched that loading bar like it mattered. And because of that, the game already felt valuable before you even played it. Today, we can try 10 games and forget them by next week. Back then, one game could live in your head for months, not because it was massive, but because it had your full attention. Old games also left more to the imagination. They did not explain everything. They did not fill the screen with markers, pop-ups, and endless instructions. Sometimes you had no idea where to go. Sometimes the world felt strange. Sometimes you had to figure things out on your own. That mystery made everything bigger. A foggy forest felt deeper. A small town felt like a real place. A pixelated sky felt enormous because your mind filled in what the game could not show. That is what made the magic last. Half of the experience was on the screen, the other half was in your head. Then there was the limitation. Old developers had less memory, less power, and fewer tools, so they had to be clever. Every sound, every sprite, every menu choice had to count. That is why so many old games had such strong identities. They were not trying to do everything, they were trying to do one thing well. A title screen that stayed in your memory, a soundtrack that hit at the right moment, a character design you never forgot, a tiny world that somehow felt bigger than it looked. And the music mattered. Old game soundtracks had a way of staying with you, not always because they were huge or expensive, sometimes because they were simple, sometimes because they were made from limited sounds, but they knew how to create a mood, a lonely town theme, a tense battle track, a victory jingle that made you feel like you had done something important. Years later, you may not remember every level, but you remember the feeling, the room, the time of day, the controller in your hand, the sound of the fan in the background, the moment the game finally started. Old games were also social in a different way. You talked about them with friends, cousins, classmates, neighbors. You heard rumors about secret levels and hidden tricks. You traded tips that may or may not have been true. Half the fun was the talk around the game. Games felt bigger because they lived outside the screen too. Modern games are incredible. The graphics, the worlds, the online features, the freedom, the scale, all of it is amazing. But modern gaming is also louder, faster, more crowded. Back then, a game was an event. That is why people still return to old games, not just for gameplay, for the feeling of being younger, for the feeling of discovery, for the feeling that a screen could still surprise you. Maybe old games were not magical because they were perfect. Maybe they were magical because they were incomplete enough for our imagination to finish them. Less noise, more mystery, less explanation, more feeling. And that is why they still stay with us, because old games were not just played. They were felt.